Coach, it's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news. At Paul Brown Stadium, that's where we're at here in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Now the first carry for an Ohio native. It's Ezekiel Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And they will finally get him down, and now penalty flags coming in as well. And they might get half the distance here to boot. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
44. 44. Point it right. Point it right. Point it right. 44 to the right. 44 to the right. Hey, shoot.
Mayfield now. Flush to his right, and he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Hey, alert 33.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Ezekiel Elliott, his 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team is going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week, we're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So in a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Let's make these babies.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Sheldon Richardson. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals.
24.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He's going to let this one go deep. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know I'm not giving enough credit to the defenders because that pass was incomplete. But come on, it was A.J. Green. I always expect him to come up with the ball.
Yeah, on those deep routes especially, even on incompletions, it's fun to watch him run those routes.
It certainly is, but he eats up ground and he usually goes up and gets it.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. One of the best punt returns we'll see, 93 yards. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6.
Partner, the old rules about not fielding punts inside your own 10, those things are way out the window, aren't they?
Yeah, they say put your heels on the 10-yard line, but when you return it, maybe your coach doesn't say anything to you, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of special teams coach, if they've got a special guy, they'll say, yeah, okay, you can go to the 8. But this one, he really had some guts.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
That good for 22 and a first down. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check pass. Check pass.
The Sanders has got it complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Yeah, fight this. Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, turn it up. Shit.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw here, Dalton. And he comes back with one complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one covers 29 yards, first down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Mixon trying to punch it in, and he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Ezekiel Elliott, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Browns were able to strike quickly for 6. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now Leonard Fournette up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And now to the air, Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Elliott. And Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. 30, 10, 5. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Ezekiel Elliott on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
I know he ain't got it.
On the right side, caught by Green. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The end result, 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz.
Under pressure, and he'll go down, back at the 26-yard line. Sheldon Richardson, his 2nd sack of the night.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10. Dalton here from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Mayfield finding Beckham, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. 10th carry now for Elliott. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On third down, Mayfield. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Dalton, 1st and 10. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And Dalton's throw on target to Tyler Boyd. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Andy Dalton now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Boyd. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. And it's no good. No, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 45 on second down, Mayfield. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Mike 52. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The Browns send out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. The final act of the first half, Dalton. He sets to fire deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Stay with your man. He's coming. Hey. 368.
Now Dalton with a first and 10. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now Mayfield. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by DJ Swearinger. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
6 yards to go.
All day, just like that.
From the gun, Dalton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Where's 52? Watch 52. Hurry, hurry. Twist.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Over the middle, complete. That's Atkins. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Forced out to his left. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6.
Regular.
First down, Browns.
He's checking. Hey, alert.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Point it right.
On second down, it's Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Third down.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
57 to Mike. 57.
Mayfield looks to throw. Smith catches left side. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
At their own 21-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And Dalton to throw. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 39.
That's another Bengals first down.
Andy Dalton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Did your high school have that saying, push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at his last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4.
Shoot. Nice. 61, matchbox lights. 51 the mic. 2 by 2. Move. Hands up.
2nd down and goal. Dalton steps away to his left. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Browns drive about to get started. Turnover that just got him the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here, though?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. From the 35 on 2nd down, Mayfield. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Buying time to his left. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
Second and 11 at the 33-yard line.
And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
A very good starting field position from the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
To throw again on second down. Dalton. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jannard Avery. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Now Dalton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jordan Lewis.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Watch twins. Watch twins. Check 13. Check 13.
Again, it's Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never